Me, Grimlock, have a question. Why me, Grimlock, paired with the most annoying Transformer in history?
Wheelie says Dinobot doesn't shut his trap. Wheelie gonna pop a cap in his...
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And this one I am really excited to bring to you because today I am presenting to you, and yes, presenting, from the Transformers Studio Series 86 line, this is Leader Class Grimlock. And let me just tell you, this figure is fantastic. I am talking, this is masterpiece quality. Like, if they took all the gimmicks, all the electronics out of the original Masterpiece Grimlock and presented and just had the figure, this is what it would be. I got this from a online seller, Commander Store or something like that. Gentleman also has an eBay presence, but I got it from his online store. But these are starting to show up in retail now at Target predominantly, and it's just wonderful. So let me reset the camera, and we're going to take a closer look at the figures. All right, so here's Big Grim in all its glory. And yeah, this figure is basically the embodiment of everything we loved about the Dinobots and Grimlock. I guess really to start off, since we're in robot mode, let me talk about Wheelie. And unfortunately, Wheelie is really the weakest part of this set, and that's because of something that we really didn't know until we started getting the figure in hand. And that's the fact that Wheelie is basically positioned in a permanent sitting spot. And the articulation in the arms and the body is really just meant to put him in this slingshot shooting pose. I mean, there's no way for the figure to stand. There's a ball joint here in the arm and a specific cut to bring the arm across the chest. The other arm is static, and that's the arm holding the slingshot. The head is on a ball joint, and there's a swivel at the waist. But again, it's all for being able to get Wheelie in that firing position. Now, as you saw, there is a peg right there on the inside of that leg, and there are holes on the top of Grimlock's shoulder that you can just peg Wheelie in, that he can sit like he did in the movie. So this is very scene specific, very movie specific. Maybe down the line, depending on how well this subline does, and I think it's going to do very well because this is the second figure I've gotten from it, and it is just absolutely fantastic. We might get like a core class Wheelie or a Legends Wheelie or something that's more movie accurate than what we got in Titan's Return, and it was fully transformable. But let me just put that off to the side until we get to Tyrannosaurus mode. But here's Grimlock. And one thing I just mentioned now, let me bring that arm down, movie specific. This Grimlock is designed from the ground up based on the appearance in Transformers the movie. So some of the coloring might be a little different than what you saw in season 2 of Transformers. And that's also because a lot of people tend to forget Transformers the movie was being written concurrently with season 2 of Transformers. So the script for the movie was actually done before certain characters were introduced in season 2, namely the Combiners. I think even the writing even started as early as late season 1, so that's why you also didn't have characters like Omega Supreme, Jetfire. There was enough time to work the Dinobots in, But if you remember, really, I mean, there's a focus more on Grimlock. And that also explains Grimlock's accessories, because besides Wheelie, all we get with Grimlock is its blaster. There is no sword, which is very, to a lot of people, including myself, was very odd, because I would say Grimlock's sword is more iconic than this blaster. But this is a very nice blaster, a very nice update and recreation of the G1 style double barrel cannon. You do have the blast effect ports there you can peg the blast effects in. Also, and again, I don't see other reviewers mentioning this in their reviews, but let me just position the arm down, there is weapon storage. There's a groove here that you can basically clip the gun onto Grimlock's Dinobot arm, the Tyrannosaurus arm, and it will just clip into place and hang off these back wings, which very articulated. You can do a lot with them, position them how you see fit. The instructions kind of show them straight down, and I would say, yeah, if you're going to use it for weapon storage, you might want to have it straight down. Other than that, one little touch to the toy is right here on this chest piece. As you might be able to see, there is an Autobot logo underneath. And of course, Grimlock has the animation accurate blue eyes. But that clear piece was actually not part of the animation design, but was part of the toy design. And if I'm not mistaken, even though I think it was on his back, that had to do with the original Diaclone version of Grimlock, that basically you were able to put the little Diaclone men inside the chest. They could look out, that was like the command center. But a lot of people are complaining about it because it doesn't look right, or this, that, and the other thing. I really don't mind it. And as I've said to people online, I can't believe that this is going to be the only version of Grimlock we're going to get. So I think there could be something like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive King Grimlock edition, where maybe we get the chrome instead of the gold paint. We get a sword, we get a crown, something like that. That's maybe more of the cartoon or comic design than this movie design. But yeah, this figure is just incredible. You have ratchets here in the shoulders. You have a very tight swivel joint here in the arms. We're going to get into the arms more when we get into transformation. You have a faux ratchet here at the legs, swivels, ankle pivot. I mean, this is the most articulated Grimlock that I can remember. I mean, I think there's more articulation in this version than in that masterpiece. So, yeah, I think why we're here, let's just go ahead and get into the transformation. If you've ever transformed a Grimlock figure in your life, you've got this. This is one of the easiest transformations, much easier than that Studio Series Bumblebee figure I looked at. It's just brilliant. The first thing that you want to do is, if you have the arms bent, bring them down, but you want to bring them down all the way, and it will soft tab click into place. Next, what you want to do is bring the arms forward a little and rotate the fists inward, and those will, again, soft click out of place and then click into place, folded up. Then again, bring the arms forward. We're just doing that now to keep them out of the way, give us a little room to work with. Come down to the feet. What you want to do is take the heels here, and you're going to flip them forward. They don't really peg into place, but they're just there. I guess at this point, you can also unpeg the dinosaur head and just bring it up so you have, again, room to work with. Go ahead and open up these back panels that are part of the tail. and go ahead and fold out these tail sections, and these will just sit upward like so. Now we're going to go in and start working on the knees. And what I want to point out is it's shown in the instructions, but again, so other reviewers haven't really been touching on it. The knees actually click into place into the shin. Right there is a little white clip that will peg into a tab. So when you're going back into robot mode from dinosaur mode, make sure you do push that all the way in so you can get use of that ratchet. The leg, of course, might come unclipped while you bend. I mean, it gives you a little extra articulation, but, you know, that is there. So we're going to unpeg the knees. We're going to rotate the shins around, bring them up slightly, do it again on this side, and then go ahead, peg the legs together like so, and continue to bring them all the way back, that there are tabs in the those heel sections that we flipped around that will, there are slots that will peg into tabs on the back of the waist. Just like so. You know, there is also, I want to mention, a lot of wiggle in this section, I guess, for posing, but things do hold together. Once you have that done, bring around this section. This is the front, and this will peg together in two spots, there and there. And, you know, there you go. Don't be worried if there's a little gappage, because what will happen now is with the arms, we're going to grab the chest section, bring it down and forward. That will clip into place there, holding everything together nice and tight. Come in, grab the Grimlock head, the robot head, fold it down. And this is something that's really cool. As I mentioned, the back panels were articulated, so you can rotate them up and over, bring them around, and bring them back down and peg them together. And you can start positioning the dinosaur arms. Finally, what you can do is bring the dinosaur head down. That will click into place. Bring it down more. But now, if you remember, the first step was clicking the elbows into place. We're now going to pull on the opposite direction, and that will actually free up knee joints for the dinosaur mode. And there we have Grimlock in its Mechagodzilla tribute dinosaur mode. You know, you got the mouth going. There's a little even head articulation there. This is why I said this is very much like that old Masterpiece with the gimmicks removed, because on the old Masterpiece you had like a tail wagging, head turning gimmick that if it wasn't there, you would have had like the free articulation. But very nice, very, very screen accurate to the original animation design from the movie. You do have, I mean, again, I guess I should properly show you that you can do, if you are so desired, the more, what we now know is the proper Tyrannosaurus Rex stance. But I think for all of us of my generation, that stance is basically just this, you know, with the legs somewhat bent, you know, and like just upright like Mechagodzilla. There are also ball joints here, very tight in the Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, and you do have a single hinge here at the elbow. I remember on the Masterpiece, you also had hinges here in the hands, so it was a little more articulated in that regard, but I think it's good enough. Now, we bring the blaster back in. You should notice that there are a couple tabs here on the side of the gun. You can, there are some slots here on the back that you can actually, if I could do this right, peg the gun into. So you'll have this weapon storage. Yeah, it kind of stands out, but at least it's there. Bringing Wheelie back in, on the side of Grimlock's neck, there's a post there and a post there. And if you spread open Wheelie's legs, man, things I never thought I'd say, you'll notice that there are these little holes and slots. And basically, that's how Wheelie is going to attach to Grimlock in Dinosaur mode. Just get it on in there. Peg it on. And again, there you go. Very scene specific, having I think this is actually more iconic than Wheelie sitting on Grimlock's shoulder in robot mode, is Wheelie riding on the back of Grimlock's neck in Dinosaur mode. Because, I mean, for a while there, we did really see just Grimlock basically in its Dinosaur mode for most of the time. I guess, from season 3 onwards, that's really when Grimlock became the focal point of the Dinobots and, became more of a comedy character. But this is just great. Like I said, it's a very easy transformation, very enjoyable. You do have a post here in Grimlock's mouth, should you decide to add a blast effect to show it breathing fire, which is wonderful, of course. And there are 5mm posts and holes all over the robot body, so if you want to armor it up or whatever. So there is that cross play with the Kingdom, Earthrise, and Siege lines, but really, I think this is going to just exist in that Studio Series 86 subline. So, yeah, I just can't take my hands off it. This is just a fantastic figure, and I really think another home run. As I've said to some people, I think that Studio Series 86 is going to be the line of 2021. So we'll pause, and I'll wrap this video up for you. Okay, I wanted to just bring in the backdrop that Grimlock comes with, and it's actually the inside of the Quintesson Citadel when he breaks in to help rescue Hot Rod and Cup with Wheelie. And again, another fantastic backdrop. I wish there was a way to connect these backdrops so you can have, if there's another scene from the Quintesson Citadel, they could be used together. But I think I've basically said all I can about the greatness of this figure. A couple of issues aside is actually, number one, in Dinosaur mode, T-Rex mode, Grimlock cannot stand on the base of the backdrop. I actually have it slightly forward, but it kind of works here. The other thing is, the issues with Wheelie. But again, Wheelie is here for a specific purpose, but to be honest, once this review is over, I'm putting Wheelie back in the box because I really don't need it for that, for my display and what I'm going to be doing. Of course, over time, a lot of the friction tabs and posts, the parts in the arms with the elbow, the knee clips, those can wear down, but that's just the nature of the beast with toys in, the 21st century. Definitely, if you're a fan of the 86 movie and, that the first 2 seasons of Transformers, you need to have this Grimlock in your collection. Don't, go by my crazy hypothesis that there's going to be a King Grimlock repaint. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I'm just throwing names out. I just can't see them creating a new mold and not getting another use out of it. Get this figure when you see it. Later on down the line, you might be able to flip it for a couple shekels if the better version comes out. But definitely, this is the toy version of Grimlock that you would want. And seeing as how that masterpiece version, and there were like three or four releases of it, it's basically off of the primary retail market. This is your best bet to get a highly articulated, cartoon accurate, and detailed Grimlock figure. The Wheelie is a bonus, but really, Grimlock is the selling point. So there's nothing more I can say. Again, another early contender for Toy of the Year. You know, we'll have to see what goes on as the year progresses and stuff. But I mean, this Studio Series 86 line, I mean, this is the second figure, and it's just knocking it out of the park. So, if you like this video review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I always appreciate the views, the liking, commenting, and subscribing communicates to YouTube on a primal algorithmic level that says my channel should be held up and exalted and promoted to the ends of the earth. If you really want to help support my channel, please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description below and a little card here in the corner, somewhere around Grimlock's snout. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask is for $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like Grimlock to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of this channel. New equipment, light boxes, you know, supplies I might need. But as always, and I say this all the time, and I do mean it, if you can't swing the $12 a year, just watching my videos is support enough. So, for Grimlock and Wheelie,
Me, Grimlock, says, Chuck will see you next time.